step.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And seconded, and are there any changes? I noticed one.
Just one.
It says Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, it says Vice Chairman Pittman asks all to rise, I think it was me. Anyone else? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Abstain since I wasn't there.
and one
I
abstention.
jumped right past the allegiance to the flag portion.
Very good. All right, I have an accounts payable manifest in the amount of $507,850.93, of which $500,000 is for the school.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I also have a payroll manifest in the amount of, grossing in the amount of $140.40, netting at $120.58, and it's a correction to a check.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, so we have a new contract with Clean Rentals for the uniforms for the Highway Department. I need a motion to authorize me to sign the contract. It's for the same price as the current contract. When it comes in, I need to sign it. So
Motion to approve.
Second?
moved and seconded to authorize me to sign the contract with Clean Rentals. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I have a timber tax levy in the amount of $1,059.11 for Carolyn Hogue on Mount View Road.
I move that we collect the timber tax.
Second. Moved and seconded. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Two places, Dick. I want to note for the record that on July 31st and August 2nd, four members of the Board of Selectmen approved an accounts payable manifest in the amount of $105,314.15. And on the same dates, the same four members of the Board of Selectmen approved a payroll manifest grossing at $56,230.02, which netted at $43,173.27. I have a notice of intent to cut wood or timber for Van E. Hurdle Senior of Alton. This is map 410, lot 75.
Is that the one off Bad Road?
I was just gonna say that's the same property. I heard, but
Did he resolve his access?
don't know.
I think it says he's going in off on Center Road.
Oh, good.
Yep. Agreement is between Van Hurdle, hereinbefore referred to as the abutter, and David and Harold Whatmo, herein referred to as the owner. The owner agrees to allow the abutter and his logging contractor to access the abutter's property. I have a notice of intent to cut wood or timber. Again, David E. and Harold Whatmo, Old Center Road, again, map 41086.
Get the neighbors in on the cut and then get the access.
That's a request from Hartman. I needed the chairman's signature on it because it's a contract. We awarded them the bid.
Well.
No money involved, just another signature. It's more paperwork from Southern New Hampshire for looking for the electric discounts.
Okay,
We've already approved it.
Yeah, must have convinced them to,
if I had been in on Friday, I could have said
you probably get a whole new view.
pass that along.
Review tax.
All right, we talked about the 250th. Been notified by Catalina Celentano of Eversource that this is as of today. Today through Friday, the Eversource Transmission Group will be performing helicopter air patrols of transmission infrastructure, including distribution lines located within our transmission rights of way. The patrols are beginning in the northern central New Hampshire today and will continue to move to other parts of the state throughout the week. This is part of Eversource's routine inspection program required for transmission system maintenance. The patrols involve a helicopter with an infrared camera that detects excessive heat on line components, identifying the components that may fail, allowing us to schedule repair or replacement, improving electrical system reliability. If you're aware of residents who have horses or farm animals, they may be sensitive to helicopter noise. It would be greatly appreciated if you could share this information with them. It's a JBI helicopter, white with blue and yellow stripes, tail number N868JB. And thank you, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call me.
Oh, yep. 2 pages.
Steve Jamel, he wishes to surplus the Adtran Netvana 1224 switch. I swapped out the switch for the new one as this was making noise, plugged it back in to check it, and it died completely. I probably should order another switch to replace the other old one, as it's the same age as the defective one. Hopefully we can keep the good older one as a spare for emergencies if we need to replace one of the new ones. New ones have a lifetime guarantee. This is a switch for the computer system?
Yes, it is.
All right, so he wishes to surplus that?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, it's going to go in the trash.
Okay. And along with that, we have 2 air conditioners and 6 broken computer chairs to take to the transfer station that we'd like to totally surplus, if the board would approve it.
I would make a motion that we surplus the items discussed here this evening.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Town of Bedford, New Hampshire has invited us to a meeting of the Bedford Zoning Board of Adjustment on Tuesday, August 18th at 7 p.m. in the Bedford Town Meeting Room to review the applications of Crown Castle Towers and Celico Partnership, doing business as Verizon Wireless, requesting a special exemption from Article 6, Section whatever, in order to construct a new ground mount wireless telecommunications facility at 77 Chubbuck Road, Bedford, New Hampshire, and a variance to construct a cell tower at the same location. They've invited half of New Hampshire. Anybody wants to go, feel free. To the Board of Selectmen from the Deerfield Conservation Commission. At the August meeting of the Conservation Commission, members suggested the following for the monthly update to the Board of Selectmen. Members brainstormed a variety of approaches to the management of invasives on private property. Discussion toward resolution of the posting of no trespassing signs by private individual on town-owned land. Tax map 405, lot 98 and 99, the Susan Yetton parcel, will be on the agenda for the September 14th meeting. Jim Dealey, Chair of the Trails Committee, is actively looking for motivated individuals to participate in a pilot Adopt a Trail program. Interested individuals, please contact Mr. Dealey at his email address. Member West Gollum reported 147 attendees and 50 applications for site visits. Results from the Solar Up informational session in Deerfield with 110 individuals attending the Candia session. DCC remains concerned, is once again responding to concerns regarding the clear cutting on the Merrill property, map 405, lot 84 on the on North Road, the K. Williams easement.
My understanding is that that's going to be planted fairly quickly. The clearing is being done in preparation for Christmas tree plantation.
Okay. Trees for trees.
Out beyond the
Looks
field,
good.
so if you look back on the backland.
I have a letter of resignation from Caitlin Courier from the Deerfield Parks and Recreation staff. She's moving to Athens, Georgia, and she's very fond of her time and growth here in Deerfield. Send her, can we get a motion to accept her with regret her resignation, and we'll ask that Jan put a letter together.
Good idea. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Got a highway block grant check in the amount of $41,557.26. That's a good thing. Okay, we talked about the parade a couple of weeks back when we got a letter that the person who has been mowing the lawn for the longest time decided that they weren't going to do it. I have a letter here from Robin Carter, who has purchased the old Brown property.
That's Shane or his-
Hey,
So
Shane.
there we are. Hello. So, they're complaining about she's complaining about a maple tree planted by Joe Brown in the parade was taken down. We had been notified by the road agent that 3/4 of the tree was rotted and needed to come down as a safety issue. Basically, what's come down is we don't have a clear picture of who owns the parade. Go ahead.
Well, actually, I think the picture is fairly
Fairly
clear.
clear.
If you look at the deed and you look at the tax card, it appears that it is in the right of way of the road.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, the Brown family has, right up until the last decade or so,
Mhm.
mowed that and cared for it, and it was just assumed that it went with the parcel. But, I guess I would,
I don't think so.
my thought is that we, have some consideration going forward, understanding that residents are concerned about the trees there, and
Mhm.
that we have the road agent or whoever is going to make the recommendation, speak with them before he,
Just let people know what's going on.
Yeah.
I think the tree was past its point of safety.
well, it still had good foliage, and I think that there was, I looked at some of the email pictures, and it appeared that part of it had some punk and some rot on it, but there was enough hardwood there that there were leaves on it, and it was getting some.
So do we want to consider possibly getting another young tree and replanting it?
Yeah, I think definitely
should.
we should get them in.
I think that would be a very good move towards,
And do we think that the present owners now of the Joe Brown property, are they clear, do we think, that they don't own that? Or is that, I just wondered if we're.
Well, one of the present owners is in the room. We could ask him what his thoughts are.
I just want to make sure, I think that's our understanding.
that,
But
from everything that I
we're
see,
not
that's
trying
our
to-
understanding.
We
Would you
appreciate
mind,
that-
would you mind answering a question, sir?
Sure.
Okay.
Is this, could be a, I'm
Can
sorry.
can we first get your name for the record?
Yeah, hi, I'm Shane Carter.
Okay, Shane. Is it your understanding that the parade,
He should go over, Steve, can you go over
what,
there?
can you go over, can you come over and sit here so we could record this?
Go to planning board, Mike.
We just wanted to clear up something if possible. Is it your understanding that the parade is part of your property?
You know, it's not really clear,
Okay,
whether it is or whether it isn't.
all right.
I honestly don't know. I can tell you that my mailbox is on the other side of it and the well is connected to my house. But I don't really, I'm not a lawyer, so
Okay.
I don't know.
And neither are we. We're just going by information.
It didn't really matter to me when I bought the property. It was sort of understood that, at least it was explained to me that I had to take care of it.
Okay,
That's why when,
go ahead, Andy.
when Mark showed up the other week, and it was a bit of a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that was a reaction to a letter that was sent from.
Yeah,
one of my
Richard,
neighbors.
Richard Jean across the street said he was no longer gonna mow it. So we said, Mark, can you take care of it?
Yeah, I've
You had
been
something?
mowing it for about a year and a half.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to mention was, I think we probably ought to try to get to the bottom of this, and whether it comes out that the Carters own that as part of their deeded property or not, we may well want to reach a decision and reach some right-of-way or agreement with them if their well is on the property. If there's no documentation here, and it can't be proven either way, we're gonna need a right-of-way or an easement or something.
I wasn't even
for your
aware there
well.
was a well on it, so.
Me either.
All right,
Yeah,
what,
there's a street light that we pay for as well that shines on that well.
okay. All right, so why don't we say that the town will look into replacing the tree, number one, but also look into the actual ownership of the property. All the information that's come back to us is that the property line ends at the road and that it's part of the right-of-way. That's our information, but I think we should delve into it a little further and be clear on what it is and go from there.
And I think if it indeed is town property, I think we should, need to consider some remedy to make sure that the Carters have
Absolutely.
ownership and
Access.
control of their well.
Right. That's our intent.
Is that the only well? I mean, you must,
It is
No.
not.
excuse me?
It's not.
Yeah, so you have other,
Yes.
yeah.
Can I make a request?
Sure.
Also to say, I think I really appreciate that the board is considering replanting a tree there. I think that's fantastic. My only request would be, can it be a sugar maple?
Yeah,
To match the other,
should be.
It should be.
This is New Hampshire.
Norwegian spruce.
Thank you, Shane.
We'll pass that on through the road agent to see what he can find and see what can be done.
The state nursery can certainly provide a sugar maple
Yeah.
that's suitable for that location.
And in the meantime, we'll do further investigation and keep you in the loop on any information that comes back to us. Fair enough?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks
And
for
thank
coming
your
in,
wife
Shane.
for the,
Continuing to maintain it.
yeah.
Yeah, no, my pleasure, my pleasure.
All right. Town administrator's report?
Okay, we've taken care of the tree. I have contacted Eversource, and they should be removing the 2 telephone poles shortly, on the section of Raymond North, Candia, and Church Street. David O'Neill has spoken with Mark Young, and that any of the departments that would like to continue to go to him for his inspections will stay at $30. And due to the issue about the safety complex, fire truck, addition, whatnot, I was thinking that we should probably put together a survey to be mailed, so that we can get an idea of what the townspeople are looking for, before we go ahead and spend any more time on this.
Is that your last item, Jan?
No, I have one more. I've been
Is
contacted.
everybody okay with the,
Well, it sounds like he's gonna
He's
probably, so why don't you finish your report?
Okay.
yeah.
I had a call from Jerry Coogan today, did not respond back to him, but he wants to know if the board wants to continue with the capital improvement plan.
Yeah, I think we need to.
Yeah.
Okay. I will do that. Okay, I'm done.
After our last meeting, I felt a little bit uneasy about our conversation about the safety service complex and the fire truck, and went back through our minutes, and, you know, about 2 months ago, probably the end of May, the beginning of June, we told Mark and the fire department guys that were here to go ahead and put together the warrant article and spec out a truck, and advised them that we were gonna need 3 bids. And I feel a little uneasy going back on that and tying the fire truck purchase directly to the safety service complex. My understanding that we need to do something with regard to the fire department, but the more I thought about the safety services building too, we met with the fire department and Mark probably about the same time frame, either a couple of weeks before or a couple of weeks after, and told them, you know, that we appreciated what they presented to us. It was Mark and Cindy, and that we'd get back to them. And we didn't really get back to them until the last meeting and said, you know, we need something from you by September so we can roll it in this budget. I don't know that we're ready to roll a complete safety service complex into this year's budget. I'm thinking a time frame. I'll tell you another thing that is weighing on my mind is I've talked with some former firemen. I've talked with some existing firemen. They don't seem to be on board necessarily with a safety service complex, and having gone through this process a few times, I don't think that it's gonna be real fruitful if we don't have a sense that the fire department is on board with the project. I think the average voter on the budget, it's very easy to take a look around, and if the firemen aren't necessarily supporting it, then why should we? I understand the importance of moving forward, but I don't see us getting plans in here, ready to budget and ready to go in September, and rolling with them through this budget cycle and having a decent shot at getting it passed. And I guess that's what's been going through my mind since our last meeting with regard to it. I thought a little about the truck too, and I'm thinking, you know, I don't necessarily want the equipment over there in South Station, but we've got a lot of houses on the south part of town. We've got a couple of big housing developments over that way now, and we have fires in the south end of town too. So, well, that's completely countered.
All right, so,
We talked about last time.
I guess the way I spoke about it came off a little bit further than I wanted it to. I believe we need a new truck, and I do support it. What my problem is again, you know, parking it on South Road, not having a central fire station, not making that clear. And I guess I'm trying to make it clear that we need not necessarily a central fire station. We need a central safety complex. We need a place to put the town services. We need to concentrate it on it. I'm thinking about it the other day, and there's it's becoming a small amount of people who lived in town and paid taxes to refurb the firehouse. When was the last time, Mark, it was upgraded or raised?
We did some work to it back about 7 years ago. We did the new heat system. We did.
Right, but I'm talking about the structure.
Oh, a long time ago, 30 years ago.
Okay, so we're past the point of we can get by with the firehouse we have, but it's not getting by that I'm concerned about it. It's time for us to say the town of Deerfield needs to move a little forward into the future, build a central station that houses the fire department, the rescue department, the police department, and something that will be there for the next bring us into the next 50 years. It's time for the town to make an investment. These are the things I really wanted to say. Absolutely, yes. We need to go forward with the fire truck. The fire truck won't costs us an extra dime over what it's costing us right now for the one we have. We're not gonna be spending, we can just continue to spend the same amount of money to get the fire truck. I support that, but I think we need to make it clear that some of the infrastructure in this town is getting old and needs to be replaced, and we need to look towards the future, the next 50 years, and say, you know, so that's my only, go ahead, Andy.
I think I am interested in Jan's suggestion, and I think if we could get a two-pronged result out of that. One, we could find, if we do a good job with the survey, and we can mail it, or we can push it on the website, whatever we need to do, I think we can get a sense of what the town's actually thinking, and if it's 50-50 or 60-40, well, heck, we can jump right on it, and I'll take my chances trying to sell it. If it's 80-20 or 90-10, I think that's a, yeah. Well, either way, against or for, we're gonna see a clear path and
Right.
can move that way. I think the other thing this survey will do is get people talking, put a little more focus on the issue a little earlier. One of the things that Rebecca has brought up, you know, several times here is that we need to have a community group involved in this. You know, we clearly need some people with building expertise, that sort of thing involved. We need the fire safety and police people involved, but we need just some lay members of the community on a committee too.
I think the idea of a survey is great. Well, let me back up. I think, sounds like we're sort of agreeing that we do the fire equipment as a separate entity. We're comfortable with that as a warrant, like as was planned. And I would support that too. And I think the idea of a survey is good, is really good. Partly it just gets people realizing that we're still looking at it and need input. One thought might be that one of the questions at the end is, if asking for volunteer, you know, would you be interested in participating in a community, you know, short-term committee to look at this? I mean, I think we could have, if we could find, you know, 4 people, 8 people that were interested, as Andy was saying, representing different parts of the community, both the fire and the police and the community at large. If we could have a group and they could go visit some of the safety complexes, you know, I understand that there's quite a few, many towns now have them, and I agree with Steve. I think we
Every
need to.
town except us.
Yeah, I mean, most towns have them except for us.
Candy.
But what if we had some, you know, a group of people who would be willing to go visit them and see and talk to the other communities? You've been through this, what would you do differently, what worked? You know, what size do we need, blah, blah, blah. So my thought would be asking for volunteers. I mean, it doesn't hurt, you may get.
No, it doesn't hurt.
You know?
And that, you know, that's how big projects in this town have worked in the past, is getting community volunteers involved. My true and only point to bring it up last week was to continue saying this hasn't gone away. This is still needed to be done, and to try and get the message out there, because like you say, it seems that some people watch this thing, and the space needs haven't gone away just because we haven't brought it up again. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the survey should be mailed out too, because I know there's people don't look at the website. So
Right.
at least if it's mailed, you can't say you didn't get it. They can choose whether to fill it out or not. And as far as the complex, I'd still like to see if we can't get something going sooner than later, so we can take a year to really promote it and get it going, so.
You know, I had thoughts of maybe having open house meetings, you know, where the Board of Selectmen, you know, a sort of a live survey. So if we said that we'd like the townspeople to come out and discuss a safety complex, and 10 people come out, we know that we're not getting anywhere. Go ahead, sir.
After the last meeting, not agreeing with what I've been hearing around town as far as the safety complex, I met with rescue, fire, and some other members, and actually looked at the site about putting something that looked like it belonged in the center of town, and getting a lot of positive feedback of that's where it ought to be for the fire department.
You mean next to the town hall?
Yeah, hooking to the existing fire department building on that lot. Almost everybody I talked to, that's where they wanted it.
I had a
Just
phone
passing
call
that
from
on.
I had a phone call this weekend from a former member of the Board of Selectmen who wanted to know, did anybody consider talking about the plan we had for across the street about 15 years ago?
Which I really liked because it was gonna fix that corner too.
That's right. It was gonna fix everything. I really liked it. It was Jim Alexander called and wanted to know, hey, what do you think about that? I go, I always thought that was the best spot, but
That was a three-pronged approach that would allow you the ability to drive and park down by the Bicentennial Fields, give us the safety service complex in the center of town, and correct the corner that we've been thinking about
trying to
correcting
think for
20
years. All right, so
Made too much sense.
why don't you put together a survey as you can and let us see it at our next meeting and we'll send it out.
Okay.
Is that okay with everyone?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, thank you.
Thank you. Anything else for the town administrator? Any other new or unfinished business? Yes, sir.
Old Home Day is Saturday.
Old Home Day is Saturday.
Get the Robertson's famous barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
So
You see the,
if you come, please bring a side too to go along with your chicken.
Or you don't have to be a Robertson to come down and cook chicken. Right?
There'll be a few others there.
What time is it?
4:30.
So I think we're gonna start
Saturday?
serving at 4:35.
There's a lot going on Saturday. There's a lot of
It's all
stuff.
on the website.
Yeah, there's some posters around.
There's a dinner, the church is having a dinner Friday night.
There's a
number
Fireman
of
in Heaven
events.
one Saturday morning.
Oh, that's right.
we're all gonna get heavy.
Dick?
I have a multi-page document from the Sidmore family that I just wanted to present to you and the town administrator, so everybody knew that there's something coming regarding the Sweat Road. And they've done their homework and they wanted.
This is the road that goes from 107 to their house?
Their house, yes. So Jan can analyze it and she's gonna be hearing from them about coming to.
Already have, and they're on the agenda for the next Monday night meeting.
Okey dokey.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The other,
Thanks, Dick.
the other thing I have is, we heard that the cell tower over by Briggs's Field has come alive again. Has anybody heard anything about that?
I have not. Anybody else?
No. I only know about Bedford's.
Yeah. All right. No other business, anyone? I'm gonna go to citizens' comments. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I was wondering if solar power is actually saving people a lot of electricity bills, the money, if eventually the board might look into it for the school and our offices and such. Save the town some money. That's a thought.
Thank you. Mrs. Katie?
Is it possible that the 250th committee can get an EIN number from the federal government? They're for businesses, but I would assume they could have an EIN for the time they're in existence collecting money, and that can be used for the bank account.
Thank you. Any other citizens' comments?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all for coming.